And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Tonight, County Sheriff Rob Maciel is our guest. We're talking about a variety of issues. Something in the news not too long ago, Rob, that mugshots could not be disseminated by law enforcement to the news media. You recall that?
I do. Very well.
That was a short time ago. You took a different stance. You said you were not going to
Stop.
Correct.
Yeah, part of the governor's package, the criminal justice reform package. I don't think any of us disagree that we have to reform criminal justice at times throughout, as time goes on. But it was just way too much, too fast, and some of the things we opposed. The governor wanted to stop law enforcement from releasing mugshots. I totally disagree. If someone in a person's neighborhood got arrested for, doing something to a child, or breaking into homes or breaking into cars, I want people to be aware of who's in their neighborhood, who they are. You take someone who lives in a suburb or a city, they're not going to know their neighbors' names, but they're going to know their face. They're going to recognize their face. So even though the goal of Albany was to prohibit all law enforcement from releasing mugshots, my interpretation, and again, I take full responsibility for that, my interpretation of the law is it doesn't apply to the sheriff. So we continue to release them every day. State police, they were specifically mentioned in that law, so they've been banned from releasing them. Many police agencies around the state, just because they felt it was the way the wording of the law was, they stopped releasing them. I interpreted it differently. I feel it's important to release mugshots of people arrested. We've continued to do that and will continue to do so as long as I'm the sheriff.
I can't tell you how many times over the years, I spent 20 years at the Observer-Dispatch, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I can't tell you how many times law enforcement would contact us and say, we need to get the picture of this person out there.
Yes.
And that resulted in an arrest.
Sure. And again, I like I said, I want people to be informed of what's going on in their neighborhood for their safety. People know enough not to be vigilantes, and those that become vigilantes, then we'll deal with them separately, and then that's not a thing that happens often. My main concern is doing what I believe is the best thing to enhance public safety in our community, and I will continue to release mugshots of people arrested.
Seems like it's taken a tool out of your kit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, bail reform.
Bail reform.
Yeah. Last time you were on, you mentioned that it was
That's
upcoming.
a significant change. We fought this one also, but there was just so much horsepower behind the support for it. We couldn't break into any of the lobbying activities with people to try to get them to change their minds. But in essence, to sum it up, we feel that the bail reform proposal that is now law, it's a done deal. There's no arguing about it. We feel it's definitely going to affect public safety in a negative way. People will now, nearly every charge except some violent charges, nearly every charge they will be either given an appearance ticket or released. There will not be bail set on someone. So basically, bail is used for, obviously it's the first step in a criminal justice procedure. But when someone is arraigned in front of a judge, if the person felt that they were a flight risk, if the person felt that they were a danger to someone, or there may be the victim may be in some type of danger, they would set bail on them. And again, that power has been taken away from the judges. This legislation took that all away. So at the end of the day, some of the violent crimes that I consider violent crimes are no longer going to be violent. Someone breaking into a dwelling, a home, all right, we're going to now, after January 1st, we're going to give them a ticket returnable to court for breaking into someone's home. Robbery, forcibly stealing from someone, various categories of robbery, no longer considered a violent crime. They're going to be given a ticket to court. I mean, that blows my mind. That truly does. And one other part of that law, the person who's been charged, they will be able to petition the court to go back and view the crime scene if the court believes that they should be allowed to make sure that law enforcement did everything they were supposed to. So imagine this, someone breaks into someone's home, and we're lucky enough to work on that case and solve it and make an arrest. Not only are we not going to be able to lock them up, we're going to have to give them a ticket, but we're also the potential, they could get a court order to go back to your house, if it was your house that was broken into, and view the crime scene to make sure that we did everything right. I mean, we're scared about bail reform. We currently are holding, obviously jails all across the state have people, unsentenced inmates, awaiting either hearings or trials pursuant to some of these serious crimes. burglary, robbery, criminal possession, controlled substance, third degree, some serious significant felonies. Come January 1st, they're going to be let out of jail because we will no longer have the authorization to hold them. So to put it in their perspective, right now, if bail reform was to happen today, and again, it's only a few months away, but as of today, if today was January 1st, I'd be opening up my doors of the jail and letting out about 120 people currently held on serious violent crimes. They're going to be released out into the community because I can no longer hold them because of bail reform. Now, once they have a trial, and if they're found guilty, then obviously they could be sentenced to jail time. But my point is there's 120 people held on serious felony charges that are going to be walking out into our community, right out into the community.
It's going to be interesting to see how many of these people keep going.
Yeah, and you know, and again, it's another part of that law. It doesn't affect us, but the courts, they're going to have to reach out to these people 72 hours before their next court appearance and remind them they have to come to court. So either by email or text or whatnot. But my point is now it's no longer the person's responsibility to come back to court. The court's got to call them and remind them that you have to come back to court. I mean, it just seems like our system has taken a turn, and we're going to provide the most protection to the offenders and not the victims of these crimes.
Who generated this?
It was a downstate legislative proposal, but of course the governor at the end of the day put his signature on it. So it's just we're frustrated. You know, it's very frustrating because again, it's in our opinion, and time will tell. I think we're going to see a significant negative effect on safety of our community.
Well, one of the things, I mean, we have you in regularly. You're nice enough to come in. But one of the things we need to do is have you come back in a year after that goes into effect, because I'd like to see the stats on that.
I don't like to think about what those stats would be, but time will tell.
Right.
So,
thanks for coming in.
Very good. Anytime.
Yeah. Always good to see you. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week, and we'll do it all again. Don't forget cnyhomepage.com. There are lots of good stuff there. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.